4, 3, 2.
What up, everybody? This is Andre Vape Capital Live with my lovely co-host New Age Cleopatra.
Hello.
And my right-hand man, Q.
What up, guys?
What up, everyone? How was your guys' week?
It was good.
It was a good week?
Yeah. It was
Great
good.
week.
Let me review that. Hey, how was your guys' week?
It was amazing.
Jesus Christ.
Yo,
like,
it
pulling fucking
was
teeth with you
man,
two,
the
man.
best.
Fuck, chime in a little bit.
Jeez,
Yeah,
sorry.
How was your week? Did you have a good week? Did you have an exciting weekend? Did you do anything really cool and fun and like over the top?
Yeah.
What?
No, I didn't.
Whoa, okay.
I just babysat.
Well, way to get us.
There's nothing
hyped
exciting
up.
about my
Way
weekend.
to hype me up over nothing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That was
exactly,
great, dude.
exactly.
Just fucking pick me up to let me down.
Jeez.
Right? Yeah.
That was crazy.
Me myself, I'll throw a little bit in there.
Do it.
I would appreciate that, yeah.
Of course, of course. I went to a little shindig, a little party.
Party.
Yeah.
Shindig.
Yeah, shindig, a little party, whatever.
Backyard
yeah.
boogie?
Yeah, it was in the backyard,
That's
and we
what I'm
did
talking about.
boogie.
That's what I'm talking
And
about.
also, yeah, dude, it was Mexican themed, so there was a bunch of burritos.
Yeah,
and stuff.
is that like
It
a
was-
real theme?
It was Mexican
was a
themed.
theme.
It
There
was
was- there was-
Mexican themed. It
there
was
was-
like, was it like, yo, like banda, and you guys had like, you know what I mean?
It wasn't that. It wasn't that insane.
No?
No, not that insane.
Okay.
But it was.
So how
cool.
Mexican did you guys get?
Really? I mean, I think the chips and salsa is the most.
The chips
I'm
is
thinking,
also.
I'm thinking more like fiesta. Is
well-
that more like a
well, I mean-
like a word or term that?
Are you trying to say you just had Mexican food?
No, because Adam had a sombrero. There was
Fiesta.
cactuses.
Fiesta.
And, okay, then we had a fiesta.
All right, we had a fiesta.
Fiesta.
Yeah, we had a
Awesome.
fiesta. And yeah, I mean, other than that.
Sombreros and shit. Like,
yeah.
Like the OG like ponchos that you used to
Yeah.
get from like, you know what I mean, back in the day, like San Diego and
They
shit,
had
Tijuana.
and they were like the Greyhound sea color.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
With a little
I
bit
don't
of
know.
tassel on them.
I
You know
don't.
what that's
No.
It's crazy.
No, but other than that, Sunday, that night took a good toll on me. So Sunday, I just kind of relaxed.
Yeah.
And built an addy or two.
Recovered.
Yeah, and kicked it. That was it.
Yeah.
And yourself?
Yeah, I went out to Oxnard. Had to do some stuff out there with the family, and stayed there the weekend.
All right.
Yeah, stayed there the weekend. Rolled my niece to her beach volleyball stuff on Sunday in Hermosa Beach.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fun.
I was just a taxi and
Family.
chilling out with the fam. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
It was cool though. It was
Alright.
all right.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
Now,
I have 3 little girls this weekend, so.
Really?
Yeah.
And you already got your figure back. That's awesome.
I
How'd you do it? Are you wearing
know,
Spanx right
right?
now? What is that?
I'm really proud of myself.
That's awesome.
Triplets.
Triplets. Hell yeah. Full grown talking and everything, huh?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Adam
Yeah,
will play.
that's how you
I
do
can
it.
wipe my own ass.
Yeah, they can take care of each other already. It's freaking amazing.
I wipe my own ass.
Yep.
That's fucking awesome.
Well, I want to introduce our special guest is Pheton from District 5. How
Hello.
are you?
Pretty
What
good.
up,
pretty good.
homie?
Hey, what's up? What's
yeah,
up?
what's good?
Right,
man?
right.
How was your weekend?
It was full of packing orders,
Packing orders.
and that was it. Super eventful.
That's a lot of fun.
That's called quality problems in my book, man. If your
it's a
if your
good
weekend is
problem.
full of like work and you actually have the work to work,
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not complaining.
man.
that's
man.
quality
I'm
shit
not
right
complaining.
there. That's right.
It's always fun.
Hell
Ship
yeah.
out those orders and sell out.
Yeah, we did sell out on Sunday of these. This new product that we have is called the Cosmonaut, and yeah, it was a great surprise, and it's a good thing.
It's
How long?
quick.
How long did it take to sell out?
2 weeks.
Nice. Was that all pre-order? It was that
All pre-orders.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're already back into production? Already?
Yeah, our next batch should be out in about 3 weeks.
Cool.
And right after New Year's, so we should be ready for another batch to send out.
So let's talk about like let's kind of rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Sure.
we have a new product out now, but let's rewind to like the beginning.
Sure.
Right? We all started from somewhere. We all started small, and then we've evolved into where we're at today, right?
Cool.
Hopefully, people in this industry have evolved to where they want to be or getting bigger. Hopefully. How did you start? Why did you start? And what did you start doing when you came in this industry?
Well, to be honest, when I don't smoke, I got into it because I'm really into like cars. And when I saw my first mod at like my friend's vape shop, I was like, ooh, what is that? And he explained it to me. He showed me that I could like kind of modify it and like kind of piece together parts. And that's what really interested me. And then I started to do my own research on it. And then I found some mods that I like the Hannah mods.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended
Old
up
school.
Yeah.
Hannah mod. Damn, I haven't heard that in a minute.
Yeah,
Right?
right
Yeah.
before it blew up.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I really wanted one, but I had to like order like 10 or 20 of them. So what I did, I was just like, well, I could probably flip it on eBay really easy. So I bought myself some, all pre-orders, put it on eBay. I sold every single one of them in like 2 days. I
Nice.
was like, oh, I could sell vape stuff without even having it. So I ended up selling batches and batches, like probably hundreds of them. And still, I had no idea what vaping was. I just knew that I liked this box.
Right,
You know?
right.
You're like,
And then from that, I opened a shop. Still, I had no idea what I was doing. And my guy that I hired actually knew more than I did, and he ended up teaching me everything. And
that's
then
crazy. Where's your shop at?
It's in Virginia.
Virginia?
Ooh.
Tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually kind of like the same story with the shop we used to work at, but that's never mind.
That's a different
Yeah.
story.
He's like,
Kinda taught
put you guys to
him
work.
everything
and
too.
He's like,
yeah,
teach
he didn't
me
know
everything.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's usually the way a lot of businesses started, because back when, like, you dated yourself when you said the Hannah mod, right? Because back when the Hannah mods were coming out, and that was like, they had the Hannah mods, and then they shortly after the Hannah mods, they had the bootleg ones right away, because China was just like, they were just so popular. The Hannah mod was just so popular, and then like they even started like changing the name, but it was like Hannah, and it went to like
Canna.
right? Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then they just, you couldn't even find a Hannah mod anymore,
Right.
But that was a few years ago.
Yeah. So it just all started from eBay, essentially. One eBay account and then an idea.
Dope.
Actually, an accident.
And well, that's a pretty lucky accident. So did you have any like were you grounded to another industry before you kind of started dabbling into the vape industry? Are you still a part of that industry, or?
Yeah, I actually came from the music industry.
Okay.
So right before that, I was in Vietnam for 4 years, and I was producing like Vietnamese rappers, actually.
Really?
Yeah, so I myself during that time produced 2 rappers, 1 beatboxer, and yeah, three artists.
That's pretty tight.
Cool.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Surprise.
That's pretty.
Surprise.
See what happens when you ask questions? It's crazy.
Yeah, surprise. When did
crazy.
you start making the drip tips?
Oh, the drip tips, actually 3 months after I opened my shop. So I was opening my shop, I launched it, everything was going super smooth. And then this kid comes in from another shop. He has, they're called Chuff Enough caps. I don't know if you guys know
Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he came in and he showed me his mod. I was like, whoa, what is that? And again, still I had no idea what vaping was. I still like was learning everything, but I knew that that thing was really cool looking. He's like, oh yeah, my boss got it. It's called like Chuff. No, actually he didn't tell me what it was. He had no idea what it was called. So I asked my staff to research it. They found it on Reddit. And he's like, yeah, they're called Chuff Enough caps. I was like, all right, let's contact this dude because I want them for the shop. Contacted him. He was totally back ordered. He didn't respond for like 2 weeks. And I was like, man, I really want it, for my shop. So I was just like, I had contacts in China to like make some products. And then I was just like, well, let's see if I could redesign my own, So I made the Apple Top. I ordered it without even knowing what the product was going to look like. I received it. I put it on eBay and boom, it just went from there.
Wow.
Wow.
So you were like
Apple.
eBay swap.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, for,
eBay-
like you have to like really know your shit. Like to like, it's one thing to be in a vape shop. It's another thing to do online sales. It's another thing to be like a part of like the eBay and that type of sales. It's like a different demographic, different kind of a market.
Yeah.
That I've learned over the years. It's kind of it's kind of niche, but in their own realm.
Yeah.
But you gotta kind of be more suave to be.
It's highly aggressive.
It is.
It's super crazy. The clientele is very different.
Very demanding.
Yeah.
Super demanding. And what was crazy was that like we put the Apple Top on with no advertisement. At that time, we didn't even have an Instagram page. And then we put it on, and then we were thinking we started an Instagram page, and then we started noticing people tagging us, and we're like, whoa, these guys bought us from eBay, and they're like putting us all over the internet. And then from there, it just kind of like had this snowball effect, and we just got bigger and bigger. And
Where did the name come from?
Yeah.
oh, the name it comes from, so in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, where I was living for 4 years before the vape industry. Ho Chi Minh City has like I think 12 districts, so 12 different neighborhoods.
Okay.
District 5 is one of the biggest neighborhoods, and it's kind of the Chinatown / wholesale market. It's almost like downtown LA,
Okay.
fashion district, but multiplied by like 20.
Right.
You know, and then it supplies the entire like Ho Chi Minh City with product, whether it be clothes, raw materials, wood, metal. It supplies everyone with that stuff.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
So you named it out of the biggest supplier that comes.
exactly.
That's
Right.
cool.
And it was like my favorite neighborhood to be in because it was like the grittiest.
It's always popping.
Yeah, it's popping. It's like the most aggressive people, the working class,
The hustlers.
the hustlers.
Yeah, that's where the
You know,
hustlers are.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like it.
I like that idea.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump forward to the Addy.
Yeah, sure.
You know, what made you want to do a collab with Mystery Mod Co?
Okay, so District 5, what we've kind of become, we've become more than just like a product. We've kind of like made a lot of relationships with photographers, and we just built this network and kind of developed the brand into more of like a lifestyle brand. So we launched our blog, and we do this thing called Copper Drop, which is we'll do like a really quick review of a new product, and we'll tell you if to drop it or cop it, you know, like our honest opinion in like 5 points, and that will tell you if you should get it or not. Usually based on price, quality, aesthetics, and functionality, you know. And we saw the Lost or Not by Mystery Mod Co. And we were really interested in it, so we did an interview with James, one of the owners of Mystery Mod Co. And then from there, we hit it off. We actually dropped his product because it was too expensive. The quality wasn't there, and but it was a really, really great concept. And I'm all about concepts, you know. And I was just like, well, James, you know, you're a really cool guy, and you got a really great product, but it could be way better. What about we work together and make it and deliver it how it should be delivered?
That's
That's how
dope.
it's
And you
happened.
got the cosmonaut.
That's
There
how
you
we got
go.
the cosmonaut.
And then, in your opinion, what do you think the benefits are of a flat deck instead of a 3 or 4 post-it? You know.
One, I'm not like a aerospace like engineer or something like that, but obviously there's one more room to build. There's nothing obstructing your build and like the airflow of it, and yeah, mainly that's it. You have a lot more space. So with that, we were able to allow builders to build anything they wanted with no obstacles in their way. And we're also able, since it's such a low deck, we're able to lower the sleeve so that the flavor is more condensed.
Okay. Yeah, definitely looking at you guys' Instagram, I've seen so many people already just throw some insane builds in those things.
You can fit
Right.
anything in it too.
It's definitely
It's
intriguing
easy.
for sure.
Yeah, and it works.
Yeah.
It works how it's supposed to. You know, it's just not for looks.
Okay.
How long
good
did it
and
take to come up with the design and the functionality and going back in and out and going back into like R&D? And I know that shit takes a long time, dude. You don't really get to knock out Addies very quickly. You always think you're going to, and then you send it off and you get your protos back, and then you want to change something else right away, and you know. So how long did really the process take for you guys?
Well, it was actually, it took quite a bit of time, but luckily James is a really good designer. We had the Lost or Not to base it off of. So it's almost District 5 coming in and then tweaking it how we would do it. So we're all about performance, we're all about aesthetics. So like since we already had the platform, which was the Lost or Not, it took us maybe 4 months to deliver the product.
That's dope.
Yeah.
A lot quicker than you would think. Plus, you know, I like to take time with things like that. You know,
Sure.
Like, granted, we always want to make things quick and we want to bring them to the market right away and surprise everybody. Like, oh, we got some new shit. But I think taking your time with things and really making sure that they're exactly the way you want them to be. So when you come out, it's not a flop. It's a very important thing, you know, because it's a name, it's your brand, it's your everything that you've grown in this industry so far. You don't want to just come out the gate and be like, garbage.
Here I go.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
Garbage. And so many companies have done that.
That's true. They have.
They hype the shit out of stuff and they come out and you're just like, really?
Like, no.
We waited this long for this? You know what I mean? I had to look at blurry fucking pictures on your Instagram for the last 2 months and hyping this fucking product out, and then I get it in my hand and it's crap.
Yeah. I've been there.
Luckily, this product
So-
is amazing.
My product isn't crap. You
No,
tried it
it's
yet?
not crap.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I-
definitely not.
No, I got to see
No.
it. Yeah, no, I got to see it. It's not at all.
No.
Hey, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, and we'll be right back. I get tongue tied on that shit.
We'll be
all
right
the
There
time.
you go.
We will be right
will.
back. Stay tuned.
This is Dinner Lady at ECC.
What up, everybody? We are back, Vape Capital Live. Let's just jump right back into this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we got things on here. I just want to ask you, listen, the deck. So, you guys already had the idea from the last ad. You guys were coming with the ideas off. What did you like about that other Addy that made you so like, I want to build off of this and make this one better? You know, like what was it about it that you wanted to enhance and make better? Or what drew you to it that made you want to hold on to that idea and then build from that?
Well, it was very.
You're good.
Okay. Well, it was really industrial and simple. I think that's the key piece to it. It was extremely simple. Nothing beautified about it. It was just really raw, basic concept done really, really well. You know, it had a purpose, which was to be to have a platform where you could build anything on, and it set it in the design, and that's what I appreciated most about it. And District 5, we're all about performance. You know, we're about creating products where the user experiences a better vape, better looks, modifying the products, customizing it, you know? And this platform allowed it. It was just like so basic where you could do anything on it as a builder, a regular user. And yeah, I just saw that opportunity. Not opportunity, I just saw the possibilities of where it
for
could
sure.
go.
Yeah.
And opportunity as well, because if you can make, like I've always said it's the same thing for like a long time, and it was never like a statement to bite off of anyone else or to clone, so to speak, right? But I've always had the saying that there's no point in trying to recreate the wheel. It's a fucking wheel, right?
Exactly.
Just make it roll smoother. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just make it a smoother ride. But don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's already been created.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just make it better.
Just make it better. You know, and I respect that. And I've thought that same. I've had that same mentality most of my life. You know, just make it better. And I see people going like way further, and they mind fuck themselves, and they're like, I got
Yeah.
this new crazy. You know what I mean? And you open it, and you're like, what the fuck? You know, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 8 coil, this octa coil,
Oh,
and
man, the extras.
man, you know, it's just too much. I just want something that's simple and it lets me vape how I want to vape and taste the flavor that I'm vaping, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't burn my lip. You know what I
just
mean?
Strip away all the fluff. That's what I think.
Exactly.
Trim down the fat.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't need all that like cool box craziness. I don't care. It could come in a fucking Ziploc. I'm straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as it works good when I get
I
it.
disagree.
For me,
I totally disagree on that.
He disagrees.
I'm
packaging's
not a
perfect.
fancy package kind of guy, right?
Okay.
Like, well, even when we made the VCIs, I thought it was cool. Yeah, it's just a little pop top. It's just a little packaging. But like I'm very like old school. Like, you know, I remember when I bought a Patriot, that shit was $90. Like, Ziploc, you remember?
Yeah, it's a
like you got them in a Ziploc, bro.
Yeah, you did.
I remember that.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that's how they found the color. It didn't have like a color box. It was like, okay, that one's copper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
black one. You want
there
it?
you
You know
go.
what I mean? Let me drill these holes out for you.
So.
I know personally you're really into the packaging because you can tell with the Moku and all the packaging you had. So that's definitely
Yeah.
a big thing, eye catching.
Totally. I mean, so if you guys don't know that District 5 is collaborated with Brewell to make Moku Yatsu, which is this juice line right here. And yeah, I'm all about, one, the product should be good enough so that it sells itself. And it should be beautiful. You know, you should have a really great user experience from your eyes, from your taste, from how you touch it. It should be all designed into the final product. Hence this.
How many flavors do you guys have for Moku?
We actually have 3. We just launched 2 new flavors, which is Bolt and Cuties. And the original one that we have is White Gummy.
Yum. They all sound good.
Old school.
Yeah, you guys have one called like Cuties as well, right?
Cuties,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Cuties
that one
is
sounds
like
good.
a tangerine flavor. We were inspired by Cuties, like
Yeah.
the little tangerines.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Those are bomb.
And Bolt is literally, it tastes just like you're chewing a piece of gum.
Yeah, like
It's
Trident
super
or Spearmint chewing gum.
Which one was that?
Bolt.
Bolt, this one right here.
And then what was the flavor description on the other one?
Cuties?
No, the one besides Cuties.
The white gummy.
White gummy.
White gummy,
White
just
gu-
white gummy,
regular
dude.
white gummy.
Just
Right.
straight up white
So
gummy.
There you
white
go.
gummy bear.
And did you guys have I didn't see you guys at ECC. Did you have a booth there, or were you? Just,
Yeah, we actually had, we shared it with our partners, which is Brewell. And yeah, we just had like a little kiosk.
Yeah.
Mainly we were there to like meet everyone. We had a lot of fans that wanted to come out to see us. So it's more of just like we had a nice place to just chit chat with everyone.
Yeah, nice.
They're right next to CKS on the
I
side.
feel like that's
Okay.
really all you like need, right? Like we've been doing conventions for a long time, right?
Sure.
And for a long time we didn't have any booth. We were just mobbing around, and we had more contacts and more people that we engaged conversations with just walking around having those conversations rather than being stuck at a booth. Like
Okay.
on a little island, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, away from everybody else, and you don't know what's going on out there, you know. But
Totally. We actually did, outside of ECC, we actually did a photo walk with, so we knew like a lot of our Instagram friends, like a lot of vape photographers. They're all going to be there. They're traveling all over the US to come just to meet us at ECC. So we decided that like, yeah, we like interaction with people. We don't want to just stand there and like show our products. You know, we want to like have a meaningful chat with them. So we ended up doing a photo walk downtown LA and showing them our hood, showing them where to eat, taking really cool photos, and just hanging out.
where did a lot of they come from? Where
Some guys came from West Virginia,
cool.
Virginia Beach, some other places in California. Let me think about who else came.
That's dope that just people, you know, want to come and travel and see you, and that says a lot about people in general, right? Like, you could have a really dope product, but you're an asshole, nobody's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
could have the best product in the world, but if you're an asshole, nobody's gonna want it.
Yeah.
District 5 seems more like a family. Like everyone's very interactive with each other.
Yeah,
So-
totally. You know, I mean, I talk to these guys. I've never met them, but they're like my friends.
Right.
You know.
And isn't it weird that the vape industry kind of it brings that out of you, right? Like I've grown so close to so many people in this industry that outside of this industry, I would never hang out with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Never in a million years. And it's not out of disrespect or anything,
No.
but we're on two totally different paths of life, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing that really connected us was vape. And then from vape, we began relationships, and it evolved from
Yeah,
one
that's
common
true.
denominator. But
Totally. I totally agree. Even when I walk down the street and I see someone vaping, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I see you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is with vape. We're like, hey.
Matter of fact, you walked up on me when we were at the barber
Yeah,
shop.
'cause
I
you
was-
were vaping.
Yeah, I was vaping outside the barber shop, and he's like, hey, and then we started talking. He's like, yeah, I remember you. I'm like, I remember you too. It was crazy.
Hey.
Yeah, it was trippy.
Yeah, super weird.
Yeah, at the barber shop.
Do you guys ever see people vaping and you're just like, you just want to see who it is? You're like, hey, maybe I know you.
You don't want to sound all awkward, but you're like, hey, what are you vaping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, have you tried this? This is good.
Yeah. yeah.
I always want to do it.
I get
but
hit up
feel
all
weird.
the time. I kind of think it's still cool that you still get hit up and ask like, yo, what are you vaping? Or, oh, what mod is that? Or
People
what addy
get
is that?
people
You
that
know?
don't vape. They always like if I'm vaping somewhere, they're always like, that smells like. Well, they always say cotton candy.
Well, that's because you
Everything-
blow it in people's face.
I don't blow in their face.
You do.
And they're like,
You
that
have the
smells.
worst vaping etiquette ever,
I've
especially in vehicles.
I've
do.
tried to.
Like, I like to put her on blast. but
Okay,
she's
fine.
like,
Sometimes,
well, yeah, you're
sometimes
right.
I forget where my cloud's going, and it goes into people's
Right in
face.
people's
yeah,
face.
and
Every single
I'm
time.
sorry, but people
Every
are
single
like
time.
people that don't vape. They get excited. They're like, that smells so good.
They always say cotton candy.
They always say cotton candy. Always.
Yeah.
Right. So you said that you guys pretty much just kind of walked around, did your own thing at ECC.
Yeah.
Do you plan on doing that at any other conventions, coming up at all?
To be honest, we haven't planned any other conventions just yet. We're pretty interested in exploring Europe a lot more.
Nice.
We have a lot of contacts there, and our presence is pretty big there. So we were thinking about going to, I don't know, the next European show or.
I think that's really where it's at, man.
Yeah.
UK, Germany, Ireland. You know what I mean? I like it's always so cracking over in China. I mean, China they have a lot
too.
of they have expos that are coming up, and to talk to some of the Chinese affiliates that we have that were Vape Asia tour and stuff like that we're doing next year in June in Shanghai, and to hear like where vaping is there compared to where vaping is here, and the products that they really want in China or they really want in the UK. It's like that's where the business is booming. That's where
Sure, they're still excited about the
they are
industry,
so
Yeah.
excited about it.
which is super cool.
Yeah,
you know?
and I guess what I'm trying to say is what I like about that is that it reignites my fire.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because once you're in this for a long time, it feels redundant. And
Yeah.
it feels like it's Groundhog Day every day. And it feels like you're doing the same damn thing every single day. It's just vape, and it's not. You need that refreshing reignite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just
No,
sounding
it's,
crazy right
it's
now.
a real
But,
thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. It's all right, bro.
but ECC, I felt ignited me again.
Really?
Yeah, me
I really
too.
do. I felt like it ignited me again. I felt like I needed that little push to come up with something innovative and do something new and exciting and different and it's hard for us kind of too because we're a media outlet. We're a media hub, so we try to cover all spectrums of media in this industry and other industries as well. But it's hard. It's hard. We've done so much, and then you're trying to think of the next best thing and the next
Yeah.
newest thing. And I mean, innovation for you is obviously the same process. The next best thing. What are we going to do? What's going to happen?
Totally.
And
I agree.
it can get overwhelming sometimes. You know what I mean?
Extremely overwhelming.
Can't.
Extremely overwhelming.
Yep.
But so do you guys have more ideas, stuff in the works, things that you guys have already?
To be honest, I think the cosmonaut really surprised us. My personal.
Were you guys looking to make an addy, or is it just like let's just go for it? Was it a
Yeah,
thought
I've always
before?
had the idea.
Okay.
I actually never had a design, but I've always wanted to because I felt like the brand is ready for it. So I mean, it just happened.
Yeah. Organically.
Organically. It
that's-
almost
that's
just
a
like
great way.
presented
I think
itself
that's
to
when
me.
everything's happened the best, right? If they're
Yeah.
organic, if you have to force it, then it's like, you know, you're putting out there, you're forcing it, and people aren't catching it. You're like,
Yeah.
But if it's organic and it just starts to go and flow,
It's
Yeah.
and
exciting.
it's exciting, man.
Totally. And but yeah, next thing's in the works. I don't really know. I think again the Cosmonaut is like it kind of took off a lot better than I expected, and I think we just want to run with it for a little bit longer and see. We have ideas to like reinvent it and to kind of show it in different ways.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah. It's always the future. Let's take another commercial break, and we will be back in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
Yep.
Hey guys, welcome to ACC.
What up, everybody? We are back, Vape Capital Live. I am Andre, our guest here at District 5.
Hello.
So, let's continue into some more things that District 5 is going on with, right?
We didn't talk about the cupcakes or anything.
We
Your
didn't.
tips, really.
So I think you should.
Definitely.
Definitely should.
What do you guys want to know about it?
You started off with, how many did you start off with? Because I remember you gave me some probably like 2 years ago.
Right.
And I forgot, I know you had the cupcake and the summit, and wasn't there a half moon?
Yeah, half moon, and then we had the apple top, so
Apple
total
tops.
4. And yeah, so first it was the apple top, then this half moon one, which is like this competition cap. We were really inspired by again, it's all about the race industry. You know, I came from like building cars, and a lot of guys were really into blowing clouds at that time and going to competitions. So we're like, let's design something that these guys could use. Surprisingly, almost everyone on the East Coast used our products to compete, which is pretty awesome. And then we had the cupcake and then the summit. And both, again, inspired by... The cupcake was actually inspired by an exhaust. I forget what they're called, but they have like this little lip at the end that flip. And you'll see it on a lot of JDM cars. And I was like, we need to add this into vaping, you know? And then so we had the cupcake, and we just really wanted to make it cute too, you know?
The
like
cupcake
Yeah.
looks good in pictures. Like,
yeah, it
it's
looks
really
super
nice.
awesome, super cute, and yeah.
What
That's
made
dope.
you want to keep just the summit and the cupcake?
What do you mean? Like,
You don't make the half moon or the apple top.
oh, I
anymore,
guess
right?
it was just like new product, like things just evolved. you know,
Yeah,
like
things
people,
evolve, yeah.
Like people liked the cupcake and the summit because it's new, And then we still make the Half Moon and the Apple Tops. They're just not as popular anymore.
Do you get people asking for them a lot?
No, but surprisingly,
Randomly?
people still order them here and there, which is cool. Like our products, I'm surprised that people still buy our products, that have been out on the market for so long.
Yeah.
Does it still trip you out? I mean, for us, I still trip out, when we go to an event and somebody knows my name, or
Yeah.
if I go somewhere and they recognize us for whatever reason. If we go somewhere and I see somebody wearing our shirt, right? Like that really
Yeah.
trips us out.
Oh,
It's like it's
totally.
very flattering,
Yep.
right? And it's very humbling that people are still searching and wanting to be a part of companies that are vape, right? But how does that feel for you? I mean, making products, seeing them keep coming out, people are still ordering them, it's still relevant, still people are trying to access these products. I mean, it's got to feel good regardless.
Yeah, it feels good. To be
Selling
honest,
out, you know what I
it's just-
mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's got to
before
feel
it-
good, man.
Yeah, I mean, one time I was going to the UK for a show, and then I forgot. I started to talk to the guy checking me in, and we started talking about vaping. I was like, "Do you know District 5?" Or no, I think he asked me. I was like, "Well, look at my bag. What does that say?" It has a District 5 sticker on it, and I gave him a bunch of caps, so he knew who I was.
That's dope.
It's all hyped.
But yeah, I think my goal is, I think we're still kind of like a niche brand, and ideally, I want to be on a scale that everyone knows us, like kind of a standard, So hopefully that happens soon.
The cool thing that I see about District 5, regardless of vape, non-vape, it's not limited to
Right.
being one realm, being one industry, being one anything. District
Exactly.
5 can be anything.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about the way you marketed it and branded that it can be anything you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
It can evolve to a lot greater things.
Like
Yeah.
what? You have
Anything.
ideas?
He's all
That's what I'm
excited.
saying.
How many ideas?
There's no cap on that.
There's no cap on it.
There's no cap on that, and that's pretty dope.
Pun intended.
Right. I like that. Shit. It's a good team. Good teamwork. So is there you're saying you want to be more in like Europe and doing things out there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like because like, Europe and a lot of those places are further behind, that their strive is just going to keep getting bigger and we're just going to evolve bigger in Europe and across the pond?
Yeah, I totally see it like that because I think in Europe and China, their growth is a little bit more steady versus the U.S. kind of spiked too fast, and it also took a very when things go up, things have to come down. Whereas the other emerging markets are very steady; they're growing slowly. So it keeps everyone still excited about it. It's not just the next trend that's going to die out next year. And yeah, sorry.
Do you think it'll ever? Because things always seem to make a full circle, right?
Yeah.
In terms of vaping, like we started with cigarettes and little, cigarette-looking objects, and now we're back to the closed system tanks and sinks and jewels and Von Earls and stuff like that, right? Do you think? Your opinion, do you think production will go back to places like the Philippines like it did when we first started this vaping? Do you think that there'll be more products coming from those parts?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same for every single industry, for fashion, for anything that you could think about. It just goes in circles. It just gets better each time.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you said earlier. So with vaping, I think, these markets like in Europe, they'll start producing really awesome products, which I've already seen, they may be not as popular, but it's going to happen.
I also, I totally believe it. And I laugh because it all started in the Philippines, regardless of what anybody wants to say,
Yeah.
feel, have any opinions about it. It all
Are
started
you
in the
Filipino?
Philippines. No, but it all
Okay, I
started
was
in
like,
the
why
Philippines.
this guy pushing?
But it all did. It all did. Like I know my origin of vaping. I've been doing this a long time, and also if you didn't have a Filipino mod, if you didn't have a mod that
I
came from the
did.
Philippines, whatever it was like, yeah, it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't have this, right? You know what I mean?
I had
But
one that had
and then it evolved, and then it was like everybody wanted to bring things back to the States. The thing that I always laughed at is that so many people were like, "Screw all those Chinese products. I don't want anything that comes from China. I want American made. I want this made, or from the Philippines." And now, so many people have China-made products in their hand that used to talk all that shit, but the product is good now.
Yeah, it's great design.
The design has changed. The functionality has changed.
Exactly.
The user, the friendly like way it's being able to be used is better now. And people still like, you know, they think like the China stuff was bad or it was a shitty quality.
You don't
They
hear
just-
very many people talking about the clones anymore like they used to.
You don't, because
Ever.
China
Like, it
came
was
out
a
with their
big
own
deal.
products. Like
Yeah.
they were
It
like,
was
we
a
don't need to
big
clone anybody
deal.
anymore. Or we came out with their own shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like the Kangertex and the Aspire and you know all these other products that came out. They're like good products. You know,
Yeah.
they came out with really good designing products. I mean, some of them were hits, some of them were misses. It is what it is. That's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like iPhones. They come out with something new all the time. Something's gonna stick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way it is. I just feel like everything's gonna be a full turn, and
Go back.
majority of the products are gonna be from the Philippines or China. I think it will. I think it'd be dope. Little throwbacks.
That'd
Throwback.
Yeah,
that'd be
throwbacks like the Morpheus. You remember the Morpheus
I
back
do.
in the day?
No,
there was
I
a
don't.
Morpheus, and that was like
What is that?
it was like this tube mod. It was a mechanical mod that came out back in the days, and I searched for this mod forever, like forever. I searched for this mod, and I wouldn't take no for an answer. And I would go to these like vape shops, and they would sell this mod, and I would go there and search through all of them and look at all the serial numbers, and if they weren't low enough, I'd leave. And I finally found a serial number that was my area code, and I bought it.
Perfect.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's mine.
That
That's all
was
I
mine,
needed.
and then I bought it. It was like $250 for this mod back in
So
the day.
crazy.
And I was like,
Damn.
it was an expensive mod. Like
Yeah.
that was.
Why do you think? Like, I think it's very interesting about the vape industry that everyone likes collecting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why? I don't understand it.
I don't
I
really
don't
either
either.
now because I have so many mods. Q can attest to this. I have so many mods
Yeah.
that I have boxes and boxes and boxes in a closet behind my TV just because like there's just I'm not gonna ever get rid of them. Like they're still in their box. They're still in their you know what I mean. They're respected like the way I bought them. You know their packaging. They're still the same way.
So that means
I
you
still
never
have all
used
the
them.
stuff. I did use them a couple
Oh, did
times.
you?
But you know when they start to change a color a little bit, or if they were copper, or you know if they were brass and they got that.
Patina.
The patina that was like, it only was like on the top of my hand, but on the bottom of my hand,
Yeah.
but everywhere my hand held, it was still a different color. And that was cool at first. And I was like, nah, now it just looks dirty. And, you know, it was just a lot of work, man. So now it's just collecting.
There's people
Collecting.
collect
They're not worth shit
expensive
now.
mods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I don't want to get rid of it because it spends a lot of money on these mods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even collecting, I don't know. I feel of it as matching up with my outfit sometimes. You know.
Accessorizing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it could even be with a District 5 drip tip. You know what I mean?
You
If I
had the
got-
red one
I
on
do.
today. It looked
yeah,
nice.
But I got blue shoes on.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
you know what I mean?
Set tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
So
set
when I got
tripping.
my red shoes on, I will have that. So I mean, I don't know. I just think
I
that's
matched
part
my
of.
hair.
There you go.
That's why I used it,
Okay.
yeah.
So I think that's my big part about collecting, and I just like to look at my little, little desk and just see a bunch of mods there. That's really it.
You just like to see
Yeah,
that there's
exactly.
mods and know that one is gone right now.
Okay.
Keep bringing up the saltiness.
Yeah. Keep
Yo, I
going.
used to
There's
keep,
one missing from
I
that
used to
collection.
keep all my mods. I went to IKEA and I bought these shelves that are like right next to my bed. I had like 2 shelves. IKEA, so it's not like you know what I mean. Oh my god, it's IKEA. But so I put
love
actually they're the same damn shelves that are in my office right now. I got the
Okay.
same exact identical shelves, and I put them up and I used to have all my mods lined up. I used to have like 100 mods like on each shelf. And I thought that was so cool
Yeah.
until the shelves got so heavy that the nails ripped out of the wall,
Yeah,
and
it's
all
all
my
bad.
mods fell on the floor, and now they're all in a box inside the closet because I don't want them to get ruined.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit sucked.
They're
What are you
actually
gonna do?
That's a
all
lot of
ruined
mods.
already.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, if you saw how much stuff I give away, it's crazy. I could have my own vape shop. I give away that much shit.
You did have your own vape shop.
We had E6 City Long Beach. Yeah, it stayed true for a while.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was
Q
the
gets
good old
so
days.
excited. You guys must have had a lot of fun there.
Both of you guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of brought me in. Honestly, I mean, I was like just a regular kid.
He was a security guard.
I was.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
was.
was.
I didn't
And then
know that.
He used to come in every single day and sit there for hours and fucking do tornadoes on the fucking counter in the vape shop
Yeah.
all day long
I
with
did.
his security outfit on. His,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
and
His
if I wasn't
jacket
there, I'd have a flannel button up to the top.
all the way to the top.
with the Raiders beanie on.
Yeah, with the Raiders
Yeah,
beanie
no,
on.
yeah, he kind of just brought me in from like not knowing anything. I mean, I didn't even know that they had shops that were full of vape stuff. You can go in there, you can check out things.
Yeah, we brought him in.
Yeah,
Q's kind of been everywhere I've been.
So how long has it been?
3 years?
no man,
4?
about 5.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it probably has. It's been a long time.
That's
yeah,
pretty
it's been a long
crazy.
time.
Wow.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
you know.
Whatever.
Yeah,
That's
I don't even
crazy,
fucking
yeah.
like him, but I
Yeah,
keep bringing him
well,
along.
But
You know
you,
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you put him in front of a camera and he's just famous. People recognize him in vape shops. They want to take pictures with him now and shit.
Yep.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, whatever.
Life has
Hey,
changed.
that's cute from the live
Yeah.
show.
Life has changed.
Yeah, make sure you get one before we leave, buddy.
Oh my! It's going to your head now,
I can't even
Q.
fuck with him, dude. He is
Your
too
head is
much,
huge.
dude. He is too much. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll answer some of these comments on the comment section because it's kind of
Yes.
going crazy over here.
No,
So we'll
it
answer
is.
some of those, and then we'll be back in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, two. What up, everybody? We are back, Vape Capital Live. Let's get into these comments, see what we got going on in the comment section. Q.
All right, let's give some shout outs right now. So let's shout out Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi stays loyal.
Yeah,
Chi-Chi's here every week.
Chi-Chi's very loyal. Let's see. Shout out to 317 Cloud Club. That's a tongue twister.
Cub or club?
Cloud Club.
Cloud Club?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then shout out to the J Virus.
J Virus.
Yeah, good looks. You've been here for a while too. Austin Safari, good looks. Ventus Tarango. Shout out to you, man. That was a crazy last name. And Anthony ADK. Much love as well. Shout out to you.
Anthony. Anthony's where's Anthony from?
Wasn't he talking about how he wanted to come and visit?
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm saying. Yeah, where's Anthony from? Anthony,
Yeah.
chime in. Where are you from? Anthony
Yeah.
ADK, where are you
I forgot
from?
where he's
from.
I forgot where he's from. Is like Midwest or something out there.
Something
Something.
like that.
B-Huffs.
Always.
Yeah, B-Huffs, he says that this makes his Tuesdays. Well, thank you.
Good.
Do appreciate that.
Cool.
And William, thank you for loving the show. We kind of love it too. And and Maniac, of course, always good looks. Ender 1, Cooking Cane. That was a crazy one.
I don't plan on shouting out everybody who's watching.
And yeah, that's
Cool.
I
that's
mean,
about it.
Right
thank you
on.
all for watching.
Appreciate you
guys
all
are
watching,
amazing.
but
Yeah,
we're not
no.
getting everybody's name for
He
name
just
on here.
keeps
No,
going.
forget all that.
He's like,
okay.
Can't do it. Let's get back to this. What's going on with this juice? So, everybody, I felt like everybody for a little while was like, yo, let's come out with a juice. You know what I mean? And then until they found out how hard it is to push juice.
Exactly.
It is so hard. So nice.
So, and Bruel's got a big name, and you know what I mean. They have a name, and they had some good flavors. They have some damn good flavors.
Yeah, they do. That hard
Real
candy.
good.
Yeah, that hard candy's bomb. You know what I mean? They have some good flavors. So, what made you guys decide? Let's jump into the fucking juice bowl.
Well, one David, I met David through Instagram. I guess he tells me that he's like hit me up a few times through DM, asking if I want to buy his stuff, and I think I turned him down. I don't remember that, but I remember chatting to him about number 88, or it's the milk tea one, jasmine milk tea, and I wanted to get it for my shop. And then we ended up meeting in California. We had like Korean food. I was like, oh, this guy's pretty cool. He's kind of scary looking. He's like shaved head, tatted up Asian dude. But he's actually like a really nice guy, you know? And then we just became friends from there. So he knew what I was doing. I knew what he was doing. And then he started to blow up. And then we had this idea. Just, you know, I wanted to come out with like a Japanese juice line, or Japanese inspired juice line. And his flavors, you know, Bruel has a very, very distinct style in how they make stuff. You know, it's very clean flavors, really crisp, and I respected that because it's very different from the rest of the industry. And yeah, I think we were just chatting one night after Vape Summit, or was it ECC 2015?
Pomona.
Yeah. One night came back and I was like, dude, let's do this. He was like, all right, let's do it. And you know, I come from like a marketing background. I packaged artist, and I was like, I could definitely package juice. You know, you just handle your flavors the way you do it, and then let's make it happen. So 6 months later, we got the line.
Dope.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dope. And what have you seen be the? Is there a number one? Do they all kind of flow together?
I think white gummy still today is the best one. It's actually kind of incredible to watch people try it, because I would say like 9 out of 10 people will just like their eyes just light up.
Right.
And what's cool about that flavor is that it was a complete accident, total accident. So we were R&Ding flavors for almost 4 months. We had this like strawberry citrus flavor that we were trying to figure out. We probably went through like hundreds of revisions. And then one night when we were like on our deadline, we're like, we have to decide which one we're gonna do. And I was like, David, honestly, I think it's some garbage, you know?
Yeah.
And then so we were like, all right, let's just go back to the drawing board. So we had a pineapple flavor. I was like, well, this pineapple, like, it seems like it just needs a little bit of candy in it. And then they had like some candy prototype that was laying around. I was like, all right, I have like an RDA with 2 coils in it. I was like, let's put the pineapple on one and then the candy flavor on the other one. Boom. And we tried it. We're like, oh my God. And Dave was like, it tastes like a white gummy bear. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Done.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And white gummy bear is my favorite one.
Yeah, mine
That's
too.
like the best gummy bear there is, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the pineapple. I like the citrus. I remember back in the days that you know, whenever everybody's using like those CE9 tanks and those plastic cardos and stuff like that back in the days, that if you had a high citrus pineapple, anything like that, it would shatter your tank.
Your crack,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, or like high cinnamon, it would just shatter it would just implode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, God, because those are always the flavors that I like. Not the
Yeah.
cinnamon. I'm not a cinnamon fan.
No.
But the citrus and the candy, they always break my shit.
Yeah, I always leave
Always.
like little slivers slowly and then
Yeah,
it break.
just implode my whole tank. You know, vapors nowadays have it made.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because we already went through all the struggle and the R&D of vaping life to get to where we're at today.
Yeah.
Now they have it good, man. They have good tanks that come out and good products and devices and
Holes in their addies.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They have air holes that are already
Yeah.
made for them. They don't need a drill press.
The tanks used to be horrible.
The tanks were garbage.
Ugh.
The airflow
No
was
airflow.
horrible.
Some come with chef caps now. You know, you don't got to go out and buy a MLV. You know.
You know what's funny is that like I've had a lot of buddies that made chups, and I had a lot of buddies that were like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do, make chups, and I'm gonna make them big and giant, more airflow and giant clouds, and like I always felt like awkward hitting a giant chup that was like the size of my mod. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't like it.
Do that again?
No. Rewind the tape. You can screenshot that shit. But no, I felt always awkward. I always like those really small drip tips. But as time has gone on, everything is getting bigger. I mean, it went from, 20 millimeter to now 22 millimeters, up to 24 millimeters. Is now the norm now is like a 24 is the norm. If you have a 22, you're like, you have a 22. You know?
I have a 24.
Like, it's like,
This
it's
drip
crazy.
tip's perfect for you.
Yeah, no, it's chill because it's short and stubby and it's small. I like that kind of stuff. But everything it got big, you know what I mean? And then now everything's going back smaller.
Small, like
you know,
those little
everything's going back small. It's always it's the circle, man.
The weirdest.
I like it though.
Yeah.
I like it because they if you would have came out with a product like this before, they probably would have said, "Oh, that's cool," but it wasn't like the Eagle C Twist, right? It wasn't like the wand. Everybody had their like little wand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But I
saying?
can turn mine.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was different, bro. You know, and times have just changed, and I think it's dope. Did you ever think that you'd be at this point in stage of District 5? I mean, when you first started Cupcakes and doing things when you first started?
Nah, man. To be honest, it was just even until right now. Like you're asking me all these questions about my brand, about what's gonna happen next, and I have no idea.
That's dope, though.
Yeah.
I like that, though. You know what I mean? If you were to ask me the same shit about what we're doing, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I have no clue. You know,
Yeah.
it's honest statement, man.
When I first met you and you showed me your drip tips, I thought that was all it was just drip tips. I had no idea you had a shop and you were doing all this stuff. So you guys definitely have grown a lot.
Yeah.
Since
are
then,
you-
you sold them on Etsy too.
No, I never.
I thought you sold them on Etsy.
Nope.
Never mind, it was eBay. My bad, my bad.
You should have Googled it.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
For some reason, I thought it was Etsy too.
Did you, fuck, you just screwed me up.
Sorry.
Oh, are you from Virginia?
No, I'm from here. I just had the opportunity to open up a shop in
Okay.
Virginia. Like someone presented me their actual like business, and I was like, all right, it's a pretty good location. Let's do it.
Yo, that's
Yeah.
cool.
You were there for a while too, right?
Yeah, almost 2 years, and then I just came back here, like 8 months ago, I think.
Cool. And are you still traveling from here overseas and back and forth and all over the
Yeah.
place? Or you just going
I'm trying to
crazy?
ground myself, but another country always calls me to be there, so I'm always on the go.
Life sucks for you, huh?
So I think you were
It's a
just
hard
in
life.
Paris.
Another
so, I
country's
mean,
always calling me. I have to go. I
you
gotta
have to
go.
go. Overseas.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
I gotta go see the Queen. I'll be back. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's dope, man. I want to say congratulations, man, on the growth, on the success.
Thanks.
And I hope you keep putting out dope shit and bringing new stuff to the table. I respect innovation, and you've definitely done that with that Addy as well. You know,
Can
whenever she
people-
brought it in, she was showing everybody. I was like, oh, it's tight.
Yeah, I
Came out
love
dope.
it.
No, it
I
came out
definitely
dope.
love it. And it's easy to build on, and it's looks nice and it works nice. So
That cap looks nice.
the cap, love it.
The
It comes
cap-
with there. Well, it doesn't come with, but there's another one too as
and then-
well.
Is that District 5 as well, or?
Yeah, that's a District 5 cap. It's our new, it's an Ultim cap with gold-plated stainless steel. It's top airflow.
Okay.
Actually, I was inspired by Jabo about the top airflow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old J-Bo.
Yeah.
Good old J-Bo.
Yeah, that guy is old school, but now he's like the top man.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the days, man, J-Bo and his mustache weren't, you know what I mean? It was just J-Bo, and then he started coming out with all this, like, crazy J-Bo shit, and you're
I know.
like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Like,
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's like a good friend, and I'm definitely highly respect that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. No, Jay was a really good dude.
definitely
Jay was a
is.
really good dude. Well, like I said, man,
Where can people pre-order these?
Oh yeah, you could just pre-order them directly from our website, district5.com, and then yeah, we should have a lot coming next batch, which should be arriving first week of January. So
Exciting.
right on the corner.
Very
Yep.
soon.
That
Really
New Year's
soon.
gift.
You guys heard it.
All right, well,
guys
make sure you go to
heard it.
District 5. Make sure you hook it up and get some these addies. We're going to take off. Thank you very much for being a part of the show.
Thanks, guys.
And telling us your story about the brand and where you guys came from. We appreciate it. Everybody who chimed in on the comment section, thank you very much for watching. You guys, appreciate you guys being here. And we're out. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I guess.
Whatever, Q. You're
Whatever,
ready.
Q. You're ready. All right, guys. Take care. See you later.
Bye.
See
See
you
you
next
guys.
week.